Time to take a trip to the city. Hey everyone, welcome to Princess of Gay. I'm your host Connie, and today we are here with my blind reaction to episode 1 of City the Animation. And this is one that I'm really excited for a number of reasons. Well, okay, I can't say a number of reasons. There's really one reason. City the Animation is based off of a manga by Keiichi Aoi, who, if you don't know, is the same creator of a little comedy anime known as Nichijou. Nichijou is, without hyperbole, one of my favorite anime of all time, and absolutely my favorite comedy anime of all time. It is genuinely the funniest anime I have ever seen. It is so batshit random that it's just so funny. The characters are lovable, the scenarios are wacky and ridiculous, and the humor is just, I don't know, it's just my kind of humor, I guess. And it just, like, I think a couple years ago now, I think it was like 2022, 2023, after having been out for a long time, the anime got a dub, kind of out of nowhere, and it's really good. It's a genuinely really good dub. I think it's because it was licensed, it like got a new license, and so that license came with it being, dubbed. And so it's like, this series is just so good. And so now we get another series from Keiichi Aoi receiving an anime adaptation, and it's City. I don't know much of anything about City. I've never read the manga, back when I read manga and everything. It was originally published in 2016, 10 years after Nichijou started getting published. So, and I think both of them are actually still ongoing, which is wild to think about. Nichijou is an ongoing manga. It's not over. It's been going for almost 20 years now. Like, that's actually kind of surprising to realize. Because you think of how long, like, One Piece has been going, for example. Nichijou's been going, like, almost as long as One Piece. And mind you, with what Nichijou is, that kind of tracks. That definitely can work. But it's only been 9 years for City since it started getting published. And I'm very curious as to, like, how different this is going to be. I know the character designs, because I've seen some of those, look pretty much the same. Like, they look like Nichijou characters because it's the same artist. It makes sense. But I don't know if this is going to be a comedy like Nichijou, or if it's, like, a different genre. I don't know. I genuinely do not know what this is in terms of story, in terms of genre, in terms of, like, I don't know who the characters are. I just have seen images of them. I'm going into this pretty damn blind. But because this is by the same creator of Nichijou, which, again, one of my favorite anime, it automatically makes me super excited to see it. And this is not even the only time this has happened recently, because they just announced there's going to be an anime adaptation for another anime by Hiromu Arakawa, the creator of Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. She has another anime adaptation coming out for one of her works. By the way, yes, the creator of Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, or just Fullmetal Alchemist in general in terms of the manga, is a girl, for those who didn't know. Which is why all the female characters in Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood are so fucking well written. I mean, all the characters are, but still. But yeah, she has another adaptation coming out. I can't remember the name of the work right now, but that's like really fucking cool. So it's like I love seeing these creators who are known for like a specific property have other properties, other manga they've worked on get adaptions. And I really hope they do just as well. I hope City does just as well as Nichijou did. And I hope Hiromu Arakawa's new series does just as well as FMA did. Um, though I hope the new series doesn't need to have a brotherhood treatment, you know what I mean? Hopefully they don't have to rush out an anime original ending. We don't need to have a brotherhood treatment for her other series too. Anyway, let's just get into this and see what this series has in store for us. Hold up just a sec. Before you click that link down in the description below to get to today's video, I want to remind you of all the awesome content we have both on this channel and the Princess of Gaming channel. Let's check it out. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. So, Nichijou is like a pure gag comedy series. Like, it has some heart, it has some story to it, but it's mainly focused on its gag comedy, with a lot of the skits, a lot of the segments of each episode being like ridiculous shit going on. That oftentimes is not really connected to anything else. Each segment is kind of its own thing. Here, this seems like it has a similar comedic vibe, but it is more slice of lifey as well. It's like it combines slice of life with the silly comedy stylings of Nichijou, but doesn't go full gag comedy. So it does have a bit of a different vibe, but there is also very similar ideas here. Now, there's a lot going on. Just like Nichijou, there is a lot in each episode. So if I miss things to talk about, I apologize. I'm going to try to go by character here. I think that's the best way to kind of sort this out. So, two characters I want to talk about here right now. I got the list up because I have to remember names. We have Midori Nagumo and Nikura. These two are roommates, I think, is what we're supposed to see from this. It seems like they're good friends and roommates. You can ship them. And I think I kind of do. They definitely give some of those vibes. But right now they mostly seem like roommates to me. I think we're gonna have to see how it goes. But I could ship them. They're two college-age young women, and seem to be kind of like going about their lives in different ways. Nikura is like going to university, trying to be a photographer, saving up to get a DSLR camera, rather than her classic box camera. And she seems to have kind of a goal set in mind. While Nagumo is more kind of going with the flow. She wants to find something fun to do with her life, but doesn't have like an exact understanding of what that is. She does have a job at this little noodle restaurant, this Western cuisine restaurant, and she seems to be like fine working there, although like I guess her first day doesn't go super well. It's kind of crazy and wild. But she seems okay with the job. I mean, no issues with it otherwise. But yeah, she doesn't seem to have like a huge amount of like specified goals at the moment. So it's going to be interesting to see like if that kind of develops and progresses as we go along. We also then have Wako Izumi, who apparently won a photo contest, from what we saw. I don't know what the intention is here, but Wako to me reads as super fucking autistic. And I don't know if that was intended. This again was originally published. The manga was published in 2016, and it's still ongoing, mind you. But I don't know if the author like intended that to be read that way, or if it's just she's supposed to be kind of like silly and ridiculous. But as someone who is autistic, there's a lot of things that she does that very much reads to me that way. Her like the way she reacts to losing something, like she's kind of panicked about it and freaking out and like getting kind of like super antsy and weird about it. But then she has like the stimming, like playing with her eraser in her pocket, rubbing on the mushroom, and then hyper fixating on the mushroom. It's like there's a lot of things here that just genuinely, I'm not trying to say this as a joke or anything, genuinely read as autistic to me. I've talked about it before. Stimming is something a lot of autistic people do. It's a very common thing. I myself do it. I've talked about before on the channel how like the kind of the most notable thing I do in terms of stimming is playing with a rubber band in my hand. Like even when I'm on camera and stuff, I'll have my hands like down below where the camera shows, and I'll be like stretching it out and like rolling it up and stuff like that, just playing with it. It keeps me focused. This is why like fidget toys were created, like fidget spinners, fidget boxes, etc. It's to help with people who like are autistic or ADHD and need something to like keep them focused. It helps them like just basically keep going in a way. And stimming is like just a very very common thing, and different people stim with different things. Like I said, rubber bands is the most common for me, but I've stimmed with all kinds of stuff. Like there have been times where I've like take my nail clippers here and I'll just like click them and stuff like that, like just go back and forth, things like that. Most of the time I like rubber bands the most. It's just the way they feel like as I'm like stretching them and rolling them in my fingers is just like, I don't know, satisfying, I guess. It's something I don't really think about too often because when I'm stimming, it's just a natural thing. It's just I grab the rubber band in my hand and I'm like playing with it, but I'm not like intentionally doing it. You know what I mean? It's just I'm just doing it. It's just so natural and so ingrained into me. I just do it like without even thinking about it. And again, just from the stimming with her eraser and even like rubbing on the mushroom, it's frilly underside and then the smoother cap. It's like this very much reads as stimming to me specifically. And like if this is intentional, cool. I am all for that. Like I think autistic representation needs to be explored more in media. But Wako, we see, loses her point card, and so she starts getting like super antsy over it. She again starts stimming. She starts like praying to this little plush toy thing she made, and doing all this crazy stuff to try and calm her down and make her feel happy inside. She ends up going to the station, ends up finding it's closed anyway, but then an officer shows up and like it's like, did you lose this? And it's her point card, and so everything works out. She seems like probably like she's gonna be my favorite character. She also said she was like 20 years old. She was like reflecting on her life, and she said these 20 years. So okay, it seems like a good portion of our cast are adults here. After that, we have the Makabe family. So this is the family that runs this restaurant. We have the dad, who according to this is Tsurubishi. And he seems like a kind of goofy, silly dad who, pokes fun at his kids, just, playfully. Is very kind, but, a bit of a dork ass. But has good intent. He's a good-hearted guy. Also seems to really enjoy making his food and everything, from what we can tell. His son Tatawaku seems to be, from what we can tell, trying to be serious but failing. kind of one of those guys who's like, he again, very good natured, but tries to take things seriously, tries to like be a normal person, quote unquote. But he gets wrapped up in all this silliness too. Like he tries to ignore the horoscope because it's like, I don't believe in that stuff anyway. But then it's like it starts eating at him. He's like, I gotta at least know this one thing. What's the lucky item? And he doesn't want to wear the miniskirt when he finds out because it's like, oh, that's a little weird. That's a little like, although I don't think it is. I don't think a guy wearing a miniskirt is weird at all. But you know, gender roles and everything are more enforced in Japan than here in America currently. Well, the right are trying to enforce them a lot more again. They're pushing for that still, but you know, just weird bigoted bullshit. Guys can wear skirts, girls can wear pants, anyone can wear anything. Clothes are not gendered. um if you see them that, if you want to see them that way, if like especially if like you're trans and you see certain clothes a certain way that helps you like deal with like gender dysphoria, that's entirely fair. But I'm just saying anyone can wear anything they want. But yeah, he ends up like having a weird amount of like bad luck anyway. Considering the bag the noodles fell into twice is his bag. We see the family like trying to deal with this customer along with again, I'm trying to get the names down, but it's going to take a bit. Nagumo, who's the new employee there. They're trying to deal with the customer, and he seems like a nice old man. He's not like mean or anything, but they're worried that he might yell at them if he realizes the noodles were in his bag, which it wasn't his bag anyway. But yeah, it's just a misunderstanding. We also have two students who are Matsuri Makabe. Okay, so she's part of the Makabe family too. I don't think it directly said that. And her best friend Echan. Um, these two just kind of seemed like goofy together, just hanging out, like giving like this hypothetical of what kind of power would you want? I want the power to have money come out of my fingertips. Okay, then I'm going to have the power to turn all your money counterfeit. And it's like, oh, but if you had that power, it would only work around me. It's like, yeah, because I really want to be around you. And she's like, will you marry me? Rejection throw. It's like, what the fuck? Also, definitely playing with the idea of shipping these two right away. Like, really hard playing with that idea. I know it's probably, it's meant more as like a goofy little silly friendship joke, but come on. You know how people are. People love to ship characters. It's like we're gonna be doing that already. Um, but yeah, it seems like just a fun little relationship. Talking about like going home club and everything. Just goofy little best friends. There was Dr. Adatara who seemed to be spying on the Makabe family for some reason. Don't know what was up with that. A little creepy, a little weird, not gonna lie, but at least he seemed to get what was coming to him with his like tech being fucked with and like blowing out his ears and like causing a lot of like destruction and shit. Then we had Kamaboko Oni and Todoroki. Uh, Kamaboko Oni is the mangaka that we saw who was, you know, light on ideas. He was having writer's block, and Todoroki, I think, was said to be his editor. And they were just, like, panicking together. Like, that's pretty much their entire segment of this. Or, well, couple segments that they were shown in. Just them panicking and crying. And Todoroki was like, this is going to be your last chapter, I guess, because he's, like, always running late with his, like, timing or something with chapter releases. He's always, like, stretching out the deadlines. But it gives him an idea in the end, I guess, so there's that. The old man is listed here as good person. and the police officer is just listed as police officer, so I don't know if they're gonna like if that's gonna be expanded on or not. And then there's also the shogi narrator on the phone game. So yeah, this is a really interesting cast of characters, and this series is gonna be like a bit of a slice of life take on kind of the Nichijou formula. You have this city, you have all the characters in this city. We're going to be following them, we're going to be following their lives, and just like seeing what happens. And of course, there's the goofy comedic side element to this that kind of like really makes it feel like Nichijou. And I mean, in general, the way the series is formatted is basically the same as Nichijou, with having each episode split up into different segments and bouncing from segment to segment. Nichijou, obviously, like I said, was more gag comedy, so each segment was kind of like a little like gag bit with different characters. But this one, it seems to be just kind of going back and forth between the different stories, with the comedic parts still in there and everything, still like tying it like humorously together. It very much feels like a return to form. But one thing I very much notice is the animation is fucking amazing. Like, I'm not kidding you. This is not like an action series or like a shonen or whatnot, like Dan to Dan or something like that, which of course that has awesome animation. But I would say the animation to this is on the level of something like that, except it's being used in a very different way. It's very stylistic, it's very vibrant. It like pops out at you with the way the line work is done, but also like different shadings, different specific design, the way certain things are designed. It really flows beautifully together. The art and animation is just like seriously really fucking good. Like, not even just for a slice of life comedy series like this, but in general, just for anime nowadays. I'm not even kidding you when I say I think this might be one of the best animated things I've seen recently. It is that good. Like, that's genuinely a huge compliment. Um so I think that this series, like I said, is going to just be good vibes. A series that I can just like sit back, relax, enjoy, and just, have fun with. Something that's not going to be super serious or super intense or like hard to like get into. It's just something I'm going to be able to vibe with. Something I'm going to be able to just enjoy as it is. And even if there's not too much of like a major plot and everything, even if the story is minimal, I think it's going to be something that's just going to keep me kind of grounded um throughout the week. Even though this is like towards the end of the week on Thursday, it's something that each week is going to kind of like help kind of reset me in a way. It's going to kind of help just allow me to like relax. And I think that's a good thing. I think that's going to like be really positive for just my overall reaction experience and recordings each week. So yeah, this is gonna be a good ride. I don't know how many episodes this is gonna have. I don't know if it's gonna be a multi-season thing or if it's gonna be like just a certain amount. I don't know. But I'm very much enjoying this. Also, the opening is just such good vibes. I really like the opening. So yeah, this was an absolute success of a first episode for me. Really enjoyed it. Like I said, I think Wako is gonna be my favorite right now, just because of the connection with her, very much coming across as autistic, and also I just kind of vibe with her design. I don't know why. I just like her design kind of the most, I think. So yeah, I am very interested to hear your thoughts, though, so tell me in the comments below what you thought of this first episode of City the Animation. And thank you so much, as always, for tuning in. Tuning in, not turning in. For now, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.